The Secret Law of Effortless Wealth. Unlock your financial abundance through the power of your mind. Introduction. Why this book will change your financial life. Imagine for a moment that wealth was not a struggle. Imagine that money flowed into your life as easily as the air you breathe, constant, abundant, and available whenever you need it. For most of us, this sounds like a fantasy. We have been conditioned to believe that money is hard to get, that it requires blood, sweat, and tears, and that there is never quite enough to go around. I'm here to tell you that this struggle is not a requirement. It is a program. It is a glitch in your internal operating system that has been running on loop since you were a child. The premise of this book is simple but radical. Wealth is 80% psychology and only 20% mechanics. You can learn every stock market strategy, every real estate tactic, and every business model in existence. But if your subconscious mind is programmed for scarcity, you will find a way to repel that wealth. You will self-sabotage. You will hit an invisible glass ceiling. Conversely, if you reprogram your mind for abundance, the how becomes surprisingly simple. Opportunities appear, resistance fades, wealth becomes effortless. This is not magic, though it may feel like it. This is based on neuroscience, psychology, and the fundamental laws of economics. In the following pages, we will dismantle your old money blueprint and rebuild it from the ground up. We will explore the habits of the ultra-wealthy, not just what they do with their money, but what they do with their minds. Welcome to the secret law of effortless wealth. Your transformation begins now. Please be part of our success story from the beginning. Subscribe, like, and share the work of this channel. We want to grow with you. Now, let's break down the book chapter by chapter. Part 1. The Foundations of Effortless Wealth. Chapter 1. The Hidden Blueprint. Understanding your money mindset. We all have a financial thermostat. For some, it is set to billions. For others, it is set to just enough to get by. And for many, unfortunately, it is set to below zero. This thermostat is your financial blueprint. It is the specific setting in your subconscious mind that dictates how much money you are comfortable having, holding, and creating. Have you ever noticed that lottery winners often return to their original financial state within a few years? Or that self-made millionaires who lose everything often earn it all back quickly? This is the blueprint in action. Donald Trump, regardless of what you think of his politics, is a prime example of a high financial thermostat. He can lose billions and make it back because his normal is set to billions. If he had $1 million, he would feel broke. Where your blueprint comes from. Your blueprint was not something you chose. It was installed. Like the operating system on a computer, it was programmed into you primarily between the ages of 0 and 7. During these years, your brain was in a theta wave state, a hypnotic state where you absorbed everything around you as absolute truth. You learned about money from 3 primary sources: verbal programming, what did you hear? Money doesn't grow on trees, rich people are greedy, we can't afford that. Modeling, what did you see? Were your parents spenders or savers? Did they manage money well or did they fight about it? Specific incidents, what did you experience? Did you have a traumatic event where money, or lack thereof, caused pain? The scarcity versus abundance paradigm. Most of the world operates on a scarcity paradigm. This is the belief that the pie is fixed. If I take a slice, there is less for you. This creates fear, competition, and hoarding. It triggers the amygdala, the fear center of the brain, making you risk-averse and blind to opportunity. The wealthy operate on an abundance paradigm. They believe the pie can grow. They believe that by creating value, they create more wealth for everyone. This mindset relaxes the brain, opening the reticular activating system to spot opportunities that others miss. Action exercise. Discover your blueprint. Take a moment to answer these questions honestly. What is your earliest memory of money? Was it positive or negative? What sayings did your parents repeat about money? When you think of rich people, what is the first adjective that comes to mind? How much money do you feel you deserve to earn in a year? Why not double that? The discomfort you feel answering question number 4 is the edge of your current blueprint. Chapter 2. The Neuroscience of Wealth. Until recently, the idea that you could think your way to wealth was dismissed as pseudoscience. Today, we have functional MRI scans that show us exactly how the brain processes financial opportunity. The science is clear. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine designed to validate your beliefs. The reticular activating system. At the base of your brainstem lies a bundle of nerves called the reticular activating system. Think of the RAS as the bouncer of your brain. Your senses are bombarded with millions of bits of data every second. If you processed all of it, you would go insane. The RAS filters this data, letting it in only what it deems important. How does it know what's important? You tell it through your focus. If you believe money is hard to make, your RAS will filter out easy money-making opportunities because they don't match your filter. You literally will not see them, even if they are right in front of your face. Conversely, if you program your belief to money flows to me easily, your RAS will suddenly highlight investment opportunities, business ideas, and connections that align with that belief. Neuroplasticity, rewiring for wealth. The old adage, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, is scientifically false regarding the human brain. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Every time you think a thought, a neuron fires. When you repeat that thought, neurons fire together. As the famous Hebb's law states, neurons that fire together wire together. A scarcity mindset is simply a well-worn neural pathway. It's a dirt road that has become a superhighway because you've driven down it thousands of times. To create effortless wealth, we must stop driving down the scarcity highway and start hacking a new path through the jungle, the abundance pathway. At first, it is difficult, but with repetition, affirmations, visualization, new habits, that path becomes a road, and eventually it becomes your new superhighway. Chapter 3. The Law of Correspondence. As within, so without. The ancient Hermetic principle, as within, so without, is the cornerstone of effortless wealth. It states by your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If your outer world is chaotic and broke, it is because your inner world is chaotic and fearful. You cannot change the reflection in the mirror by yelling at the mirror. You must change the face in front of it. The mirror effect. Look at your bank account. It is not a cause, it is an effect. It is a lagging indicator of your past thoughts and habits. Trying to fix your finances by only working harder is like trying to fix a printed document by writing on the paper with a pen. You might cover up the error, but as soon as you hit print again, the error returns. You must go to the source code, the computer program, and change it there. Practical exercise, the reality audit. Look at 3 areas of your financial life and trace them back to an internal belief. External reality, the effect. I always run out of money at the end of the month. Internal belief, the cause. I am not good with money, or money slips through my fingers. External reality, the effect. I am stuck at a certain income level. Internal belief, the cause. People like me don't earn more than X dollars. External reality, the effect. I am afraid to invest. Internal belief, the cause. Loss is inevitable and dangerous. Part 2. The Psychology of the Wealthy. Chapter 4. What millionaires think differently. Research into the psychology of self-made millionaires reveals that they think in fundamentally different ways than the middle class. T. Harv Eker, in his seminal work, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, calls these wealth files. Here are the critical distinctions. 1. Creators versus victims. Rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. You can spot a victim by 3 clues: blaming, justifying, and complaining. Every time you complain, you become a living, breathing magnet for crap. Wealth creators take radical responsibility. If they are broke, they created it. If they are rich, they created it. 2. Playing to win versus playing not to lose. Poor people play the money game on defense. Their primary concern is survival and security. If your goal is to be comfortable, you will never be rich. But if your goal is to be rich, you will end up mighty comfortable. Wealthy people play on offense. They look for massive upside even if it carries calculated risk. 3. Opportunities versus obstacles. When a rich person sees a problem, they see a potential business. When a poor person sees a problem, they see a headache. The wealthier you are, the bigger problems you can solve. If you want to make millions, solve million-dollar problems. Chapter 5. Daily Habits That Build Fortunes. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Wealth is also a habit. It is not something you do once, it is something you live. The millionaire morning routine. Most wealthy people win the day before it starts. They understand that reactive mornings lead to reactive lives. Common elements of a millionaire morning include silence or meditation, calming the mind to reduce cortisol, stress, and increase focus; affirmations or visualization, priming the RAS for the day's goals; exercise. Aerobic exercise generates BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor, which acts like fertilizer for brain cells. Reading. The average CEO reads 60 books a year. The average worker reads less than one. The time-value equation. Wealthy people treat time as more valuable than money. You can get more money, you cannot get more time. They relentlessly audit their time. They refuse to do $10 per hour work, cleaning, basic admin, errands, if they can pay someone else to do it, freeing them up to do $1,000 or $10,000 strategic work. Chapter 6. The Power of Association. Your income, confidence, habits, and even your ambition are silently shaped by the people you spend the most time with. This is not motivational talk, it is behavioral reality. As Jim Rohn famously taught, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Whether or not the number is exactly 5, the principle is correct. Your environment programs you. Why association controls your financial future. Human beings learn wealth behavior socially, how money is talked about, what risks feel normal, what success looks like, what failure means. If the people around you complain about money, criticize successful people, avoid responsibility, and fear growth, your subconscious accepts this as the standard. This is how financial ceilings are formed. The invisible mechanism, social calibration. You unconsciously calibrate your expectations to your circle. If everyone you interact with earns just enough to survive, then earning more feels risky, saving aggressively feels strange, investing feels dangerous, entrepreneurship feels unrealistic. But when you are regularly exposed to people who build projects, talk about opportunities, share ideas, analyze results instead of blaming others, your mind recalibrates what is possible. This is why association is not an option. It is a strategic wealth decision. The success principle behind association. This idea was clearly explained in early success philosophy by Napoleon Hill in his classic book, Think and Grow Rich. He described how coordinated minds amplify results when people with similar goals interact, exchange ideas, and support execution. Modern psychology calls this social reinforcement, norm shaping, expectation alignment. Different language, same mechanism. 3 types of people in your financial environment. To master the power of association, you must become conscious of who surrounds you. 1. Expanders. These people think bigger than you. They are already doing what you want to do. They challenge your excuses. They share resources and insight. You grow faster around them. 2. Stabilizers. These people are emotionally supportive, not necessarily ambitious, but they do not sabotage your growth. They help you stay balanced. 3. Limiters. These people ridicule ambition, discourage change, mock discipline, normalize struggle. They don't mean harm, but they reinforce stagnation. Your future depends on how much time you give to each group. A critical truth most people avoid. You cannot build a new financial identity inside an old social identity. When you change your goals, your relationships must evolve. This does not mean abandoning people. It means redefining influence. Association and your subconscious wealth programming. Your subconscious learns fastest through repeated conversation, shared emotional experiences, group beliefs, collective interpretation of success and failure. If your circle repeatedly says, business is too hard, rich people are corrupt, nothing works here, your mind records this as safety logic. To reprogram wealth thinking, you must expose your mind to a new narrative. Practical ways to upgrade your association even if you start alone. You don't need instant access to millionaires. You need consistent access to better thinking. Here's how. 1. Curate your digital environment. Follow builders, investors, and educators. Unfollow chronic complainers and drama creators. Your phone is now part of your social circle. 2. Join growth-based communities. Look for entrepreneurship groups, professional associations, online learning communities, local business networks. Don't go there to impress. Go there to learn and listen. 3. Seek proximity, not status. Don't chase famous people. Chase people who are actively building something real. Progress is more valuable than prestige. 4. Become the valuable connection. The fastest way to enter better circles is to become useful. Skills attract association faster than ambition. A warning about fake association. Many people confuse being in a group chat, attending a seminar, following influencers with real association. True association involves shared effort, shared learning, shared accountability. If no one knows your goals and no one challenges your actions, the association is passive and weak. Your association audit. Ask yourself honestly, who do I regularly talk about money with? Who encourages me to grow? Who normalizes staying where I am? Who do I become after spending time with them? Your answers reveal your future trajectory. The real power of association. Association does not make you rich. Association changes what you believe is possible, what you tolerate, what you attempt, and what you persist through. That's why it changes your income. Chapter takeaway. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You adapt to the level of your environment. If you want effortless wealth to become natural, you must place your mind inside conversations that make growth normal. Change your circle, and your financial identity will follow. Part 3. Reprogramming your subconscious for wealth. Chapter 7. The subconscious mind, your wealth generator. Your subconscious mind is a servo mechanism. It is like the autopilot on an airplane. If the autopilot is set to east and you physically grab the controls to steer north, you will feel tension. As soon as you let go, the plane will snap back to east. This is why willpower fails. Willpower is conscious. The autopilot is subconscious. The language of the subconscious. The subconscious mind does not understand the future tense. It only understands now. If you say, I want to be rich, the subconscious records the state of wanting. It will give you more wanting. It keeps the wealth in the future. You must speak in the present tense. I am wealthy. Money flows to me. Even if it isn't physically true yet, you must claim it as psychological truth first. The subconscious cannot distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. Making wealth familiar. The primal brain seeks safety, and safety is found in the familiar. If poverty is familiar, your brain will subconsciously sabotage success to return you to the safety of poverty. To change this, you must make wealth familiar. Visit the lobby of the most expensive hotel in your city. Sit there, drink a coffee, absorb the atmosphere. Test drive a car you can't afford yet. Feel the leather. Smell it. Carry a $100 bill in your wallet that you do not spend. Just knowing it is there sends a signal of abundance to your subconscious. Chapter 8. Visualization and mental rehearsal. Visualization is not daydreaming. It is mental rehearsal. Olympic athletes hook themselves up to biofeedback machines, and when they visualize running their race, their muscles fire in the exact same sequence as if they were physically running. The 5-sensory visualization technique. Most people visualize poorly. They see a vague picture. To reprogram the brain, you need high-definition visualization involving all 5 senses. Exercise. The perfect wealthy day. Close your eyes and walk through a day in your life 5 years from now. Sight. What does the light look like in your bedroom? What view do you see out the window? Touch. What do the sheets feel like? What does the steering wheel of your car feel like? Sound. Is it quiet? Do you hear the ocean, the city? Smell. Is there fresh coffee, the smell of the ocean, expensive leather? Taste. What are you eating for breakfast? Crucial step. Feel the emotion. Gratitude, relief, joy. The emotion is the carrier wave that broadcasts the signal to the subconscious. Chapter 9. Affirmations and Auto-Suggestion. Affirmations are not magic words. They are instructions you repeatedly give to your subconscious mind. Auto-suggestion is the process through which those instructions become accepted as inner truth. This chapter will teach you how to use both correctly, so they actually change your financial behavior, not just your emotions. What auto-suggestion really means. The modern idea of auto-suggestion was popularized by Emile Coué, who showed that the mind accepts repeated ideas, especially when they are emotionally charged and consistent. In simple terms, whatever you repeatedly tell yourself with feeling, your mind begins to organize your behavior around. Not your income, your behavior. And behavior is what creates income. Why most affirmations fail. Many people repeat statements such as, I am rich, money flows to me easily, I am financially free, but their daily actions still show hesitation, fear of responsibility, avoidance of learning, lack of follow-through. This creates internal conflict. Your subconscious does not respond to words alone, it responds to credibility. If the statement feels false to your nervous system, your mind quietly rejects it. The real purpose of affirmations. Affirmations are not magic words. They are instructions you repeatedly give to your subconscious mind. Auto-suggestion is the process through which those instructions become accepted as inner truth. This chapter will teach you how to use both correctly, so they actually change your financial behavior, not just your emotions. What auto-suggestion really means. The modern idea of auto-suggestion was popularized by Emile Coué, who showed that the mind accepts repeated ideas, especially when they are emotionally charged and consistent. In simple terms, whatever you repeatedly tell yourself with feeling, your mind begins to organize your behavior around. Not your income, your behavior. And behavior is what creates income. Why most affirmations fail. Many people repeat statements such as, I am rich, money flows to me easily, I am financially free, but their daily actions still show hesitation, fear of responsibility, avoidance of learning, lack of follow-through. This creates internal conflict. Your subconscious does not respond to words alone, it responds to credibility. If the statement feels false to your nervous system, your mind quietly rejects it. The real purpose of affirmations. Affirmations are not magic words. They are instructions you repeatedly give to your subconscious mind. Auto-suggestion is the process through which those instructions become accepted as inner truth. This chapter will teach you how to use both correctly, so they actually change your financial behavior, not just your emotions. What auto-suggestion really means. The modern idea of auto-suggestion was popularized by Emile Coué, who showed that the mind accepts repeated ideas, especially when they are emotionally charged and consistent. In simple terms, whatever you repeatedly tell yourself with feeling, your mind begins to organize your behavior around. Not your income, your behavior. And behavior is what creates income. Why most affirmations fail. Many people repeat statements such as, I am rich, money flows to me easily, I am financially free, but their daily actions still show hesitation, fear of responsibility, avoidance of learning, lack of follow-through. This creates internal conflict. Your subconscious does not respond to words alone, it responds to credibility. If the statement feels false to your nervous system, your mind quietly rejects it. The real purpose of affirmations. Affirmations are not magic words. They are instructions you repeatedly give to your subconscious mind. Autosuggestion is the process through which those instructions become accepted as inner truth. This chapter will teach you how to use both correctly, so they actually change your financial behavior, not just your emotions. What autosuggestion really means. The modern idea of autosuggestion was popularized by Emile Coué, who showed that the mind accepts repeated ideas, especially when they are emotionally charged and consistent. In simple terms, whatever you repeatedly tell yourself with feeling, your mind begins to organize your behavior around. Not your income, your behavior. And behavior is what creates income. Why most affirmations fail. Many people repeat statements such as, I am rich, money flows to me easily, I am financially free, but their daily actions still show hesitation, fear of responsibility, avoidance of learning, lack of follow-through. This creates internal conflict. Your subconscious does not respond to words alone, it responds to credibility. If the statement feels false to your nervous system, your mind quietly rejects it. The real purpose of affirmations. Affirmations are not magic words. They are instructions you repeatedly give to your subconscious mind. Autosuggestion is the process through which those instructions become accepted as inner truth. This chapter will teach you how to use both correctly, so they actually change your financial behavior, not just your emotions. What autosuggestion really means. The modern idea of autosuggestion was popularized by Emile Coué, who showed that the mind accepts repeated ideas, especially when they are emotionally charged and consistent. In simple terms, whatever you repeatedly tell yourself with feeling, your mind begins to organize your behavior around. Not your income, your behavior. And behavior is what creates income. Why most affirmations fail. Many people repeat statements such as, I am rich, money flows to me easily, I am financially free, but their daily actions still show hesitation, fear of responsibility, avoidance of learning, lack of follow-through. This creates internal conflict. Your subconscious does not respond to words alone, it responds to credibility. If the statement feels false to your nervous system, your mind quietly rejects it. The real purpose of affirmations. Affirmations are not designed to convince your brain of outcomes. They are designed to train identity, expectation, and behavior patterns. The real question is not, do I believe this statement? The real question is, does this statement train me to act differently today? Autosuggestion and wealth programming. This principle was later emphasized by Napoleon Hill in his classic work, Think and Grow Rich, where autosuggestion is presented as a bridge between conscious goals and subconscious behavior. The mechanism is simple. Repeated self-statements shape focus, emotional reactions, and what opportunities you notice or ignore. Your mind begins to look for proof of what you repeatedly declare. The 3 rules of effective wealth affirmations. 1. They must be behavior anchored. Bad affirmation, I am a successful investor. Better affirmation, I study one investment concept every day and act with discipline. The subconscious trusts actions more than adjectives. 2. They must be emotionally believable. If your financial reality is difficult, jumping straight to extreme statements creates resistance. You must build psychological credibility. Instead of, I'm extremely wealthy, use, I'm becoming more financially capable and confident every week. Your nervous system accepts progress more easily than fantasy. 3. They must be repeated in calm focus. Autosuggestion works best when the mind is relaxed and attentive, early morning, just before sleep, after visualization exercises. This is when critical resistance is lowest. The structure of a powerful wealth affirmation. Use this format: identity, behavior, direction. Example: I am becoming a disciplined wealth builder. I manage my money carefully and take consistent learning actions. I'm creating long-term financial stability and opportunity. This trains who you are, how you behave, and what you are moving toward. Why autosuggestion changes your financial life. Because your money results are driven by invisible decisions, whether you delay gratification, whether you ask for better opportunities, whether you take calculated risks, whether you stay consistent when results are slow. Autosuggestion reshapes the internal dialogue that precedes those decisions. You do not rise when money appears, you rise when your identity changes. Combining affirmations with visualization. Affirmations become significantly stronger when paired with mental images. For example, while repeating, I am becoming confident in managing larger financial responsibility, you visualize yourself reviewing accounts calmly, speaking clearly in financial discussions, making structured decisions without panic. Your subconscious learns through simulated experience. A critical warning: do not use affirmations to avoid action. Affirmations do not replace learning, budgeting, investing discipline, business execution. They remove internal resistance to those activities. If you avoid action, autosuggestion becomes self-deception. Your personal wealth autosuggestion exercise. Write 3 statements. 1 identity statement, who you are becoming financially. 1 behavior statement, what you repeatedly do. And 1 direction statement, what you are building over time. Read them every morning, every night, and immediately before focused work. Keep them realistic, emotionally believable, and behavior-focused. The deeper truth about affirmations. Affirmations do not attract money. They attract new standards, better discipline, higher self-expectation, and more courageous decisions. Money follows that. Chapter takeaway. Autosuggestion is not positive thinking. It is identity training. When you consistently speak a better financial identity into your mind and support it with action, your subconscious begins to organize your life around that identity. Your wealth does not begin in your bank account. It begins in the instructions you give your mind every day. Chapter 10. Clearing limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are not just negative thoughts. They are deeply learned rules about what is safe, possible, and allowed for you financially. Until those rules are updated, your actions will quietly stay inside the same invisible boundaries. You can learn new strategies, you can repeat affirmations, you can even visualize success. But if your internal rules stay unchanged, your results will eventually return to the same level. What a limiting belief really is. A limiting belief is an internal conclusion such as, people like me don't become wealthy. If I earn more, something bad will happen. Money always creates problems. I'm not good with numbers or business. Notice something important. These are not facts. They are interpretations learned from experience. Your mind adopted them to protect you emotionally, not to make you wealthy. Where your money beliefs come from. Most financial beliefs are formed from childhood observations of how money was handled, repeated family conversations about success and failure, community narratives about business and opportunity, early emotional experiences with lack or loss. Your subconscious does not ask, "Is this true?" It asks, "Did this feel important at the time?" And whatever felt important becomes a rule. The psychological mechanism behind limiting beliefs. Modern psychology describes this process clearly. In cognitive psychology, pioneered by figures such as Aaron Beck, beliefs act as mental filters. They determine what you notice, how you interpret situations, and what actions feel emotionally safe. If you believe business is dangerous and unstable, your mind will automatically highlight risks, failures, and uncertainty while minimizing opportunity, learning, and long-term growth. Your perception is shaped before logic even enters. Why mindset change alone is not enough. You can think positively and still be limited. This is a crucial distinction. A person can say, "I want financial freedom," but still hold the deeper rule that "I'm not the kind of person who succeeds financially." The deeper rule always wins. This is why real belief work is not about motivation, it is about updating your internal identity rules. This idea is also emphasized in research on belief systems and personal growth, such as the work of Carol Dweck and her well-known book, Mindset: The New Psychology of Success. Your beliefs about yourself determine how you respond to challenge, learning, and failure. The most common limiting beliefs about wealth. Below are some of the most damaging and most common financial beliefs. Money changes people for the worse. Rich people are dishonest. I would probably lose money if I tried to invest. I'm already too late to start. Success comes only through connections or luck. These beliefs quietly sabotage learning, consistency, risk management, and long-term planning. How limiting beliefs sabotage your actions. Limiting beliefs do not usually stop you directly. They influence how long you try, how much you prepare, how seriously you commit, how quickly you quit. For example, if you believe, "I'm bad with money," you will avoid responsibility, delay learning, seek constant reassurance, and quickly blame circumstances. The belief protects you from emotional discomfort, but costs you growth. The three-step process for clearing limiting beliefs. Clearing beliefs does not require fighting them. It requires exposing and updating them. Step 1. Identify the hidden rule. Ask yourself, what do I secretly believe about people who become wealthy? What do I believe about my ability to handle money well? What do I believe will happen if I become more successful? Write the first honest answer that comes to mind, not the polite answer, the emotional answer. Step 2. Trace the origin. Ask, where did I first learn this? Who modeled this belief to me? What experience made this feel true? You are not searching for blame, you are locating the emotional memory that trained the rule. When you see where the belief came from, it begins to lose authority. Step 3. Replace the rule with a functional belief. Don't replace a belief with a fantasy, replace it with a useful and believable rule. For example, old belief, "I'm bad with money." Functional replacement, "Money skills are learned skills and I can improve them through practice." Old belief, "People like me don't build wealth." Functional replacement, "People who learn, adapt, and stay consistent can build financial stability over time." The goal is not emotional excitement. The goal is psychological permission to grow. The emotional component most people miss. Limiting beliefs are emotionally anchored. They are linked to shame, fear, embarrassment, or past disappointment. This is why simply repeating new affirmations sometimes feels ineffective. Your mind is not resisting logic. It is protecting an old emotional memory. When you acknowledge that memory instead of denying it, your nervous system becomes more open to change. Clearing beliefs through evidence, not argument. Your subconscious does not change through debate. It changes through small, repeated proof. For example, if your new belief is, "I can become more capable with money," You support it by tracking your expenses for 1 month, learning one basic investment concept, saving a small amount consistently, making one structured financial decision. Each action becomes emotional evidence. This is how belief updates occur. A critical warning. Do not try to clear every limiting belief at once. Focus on one major rule that affects your financial behavior most. Changing one belief can unlock several habits. Trying to fix everything creates confusion and emotional overload. Your limiting belief clearing exercise. Write down one financial belief that regularly holds you back, the earliest memory or influence connected to it. One new functional belief you are willing to practice. One small action you will use to prove the new belief to yourself this week. Keep it simple. Consistency rewires belief faster than intensity. The deeper truth about wealth and beliefs. Your beliefs do not create money. They create the behavioral permission to build money. When your mind no longer treats growth as dangerous, unfamiliar, or unrealistic, your actions naturally expand. Chapter takeaway. You cannot outgrow the rules you still obey internally. Clearing limiting beliefs is not about becoming confident. It is about removing the invisible restrictions that quietly shape your choices. When your internal rules change, your financial behavior changes. And when your behavior changes, your results finally have room to change too. Part 4. The Laws of Effortless Wealth. Chapter 11. The Law of Attraction and Money. The law of attraction is often misunderstood as magical thinking. It is actually physics. Everything is energy vibrating at a certain frequency. Money is energy. Lack is energy. You cannot perceive the frequency of wealth FM if your dial is tuned to poverty AM. Like attracts like. If you emit the energy of desperation, I need money, you attract more situations that cause desperation. If you emit the energy of abundance, I have more than enough, you attract resources. The gratitude-abundance connection. Gratitude is the bridge. You cannot feel fear and gratitude at the same time. By practicing gratitude for the money you do have, even if it's $5, you tell the universe, I appreciate this. This opens the flow for more. To those who have gratitude, more will be given. To those who do not have, even what they have will be taken away. Chapter 12. The Law of Value Creation. Money is not created by desire. It is created by value delivered to other people. This is the central principle behind every sustainable form of wealth. The law of value creation states, your income grows in direct proportion to the problems you solve and the usefulness of what you offer. What value really means. Value is not effort. It is not how hard you work. It is not how tired you feel. Value is the result someone receives because of your action. If your work saves time, increases income, reduces risk, improves health, improves comfort, improves clarity, you are creating value. If it does not improve anyone's outcome, it cannot reliably produce wealth. Why this law is non-negotiable. This principle has long been recognized in economic thinking. In classical economics, the connection between productivity and prosperity is clearly described in The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. In modern management and business thinking, the same idea is repeatedly emphasized by Peter Drucker, who taught that organizations exist to create customers by creating value. Different language, same law. Wealth follows usefulness. Why many people stay financially stuck. Most people focus on what job they can get, what qualification they hold, what position they occupy. Very few focus on what measurable value they create. This leads to a dangerous mindset. If I show up and work hard, I deserve more money. But the market does not reward effort, it rewards outcomes. Your income grows when your impact grows. The hidden reason value creates leverage. Value creation gives you leverage because more people benefit from your work. Your contribution becomes harder to replace. Your skills become transferable across industries. Your reputation becomes an asset. Effort is limited by time. Value can scale. The 3 forms of value that build wealth. 1. Problem-solving value. You identify and fix something that costs people money, causes inefficiency, creates stress, limits performance. Examples include operations improvement, technical solutions, logistics, process design, financial optimization. The bigger and more urgent the problem, the higher the value. 2. Performance-enhancing value. You help people do something better, faster, safer, more profitably, more creatively. This includes training, coaching, systems, tools, productivity support. You are not removing pain, you are multiplying capability. 3. Experience-creating value. You improve how people feel while using a product or service. Design, storytelling, entertainment, hospitality, digital experience. Emotion is also economic. People pay for clarity, comfort, and confidence. A critical distinction: skills versus value. A skill is not automatically valuable. A skill becomes valuable only when it is applied to a real need, in a real market, for a real audience. You can be highly educated and still underpaid if your skills are disconnected from urgent demand. Wealth builders constantly ask, where does my ability create measurable improvement for someone else? The law of value creation and your income ceiling. Your financial ceiling is not determined by your background, your location, your starting resources. It is determined by how rare your value is, how clearly it is understood, and how many people can access it. If only one person benefits from your work, your income is limited. If thousands benefit from your work, your income potential expands. Why passion alone is not enough. Many people are encouraged to just do what you love and money will follow. This is incomplete advice. Love without value leads to frustration. The real question is, how can what I enjoy doing be shaped into something that improves outcomes for others? When passion meets usefulness, wealth becomes possible. The practical value creation filter. Before committing deeply to a business idea, career move, or income stream, ask, what specific problem does this solve? Who experiences this problem regularly? What happens if this problem remains unsolved? Why is my solution meaningfully better than existing options? If you cannot answer these clearly, you are not building value yet. Value creation is an internal shift. This law requires a mental upgrade. Instead of thinking, how do I make more money? You begin to think, how do I become more useful? This shift changes what you learn, who you associate with, how you structure your time, and how you evaluate opportunities. The compounding effect of value. When you repeatedly increase your usefulness, your confidence becomes grounded, your decisions become clearer naturally, your opportunities multiply naturally. You stop chasing money, you build something that attracts it. A simple weekly value-building exercise. Once per week, write down one skill you can improve, one problem you can study more deeply, one way you can make your current work more impactful. Small upgrades in usefulness compound faster than big plans. The deeper truth behind effortless wealth. Effortless wealth is not created by avoiding effort. It is created by aligning your effort with real human needs. When what you offer genuinely improves lives, markets do the heavy lifting for you. Chapter takeaway. Money is a byproduct. Value is the cause. If you want your income to rise sustainably, do not chase more opportunities. Become more useful. When your value grows, your wealth gains a solid and permanent foundation. Chapter 13. The law of circulation. Money is called currency because it must flow, like a current. If you hoard money out of fear, you stop the flow. It becomes stagnant, like a pond with no outlet. The breathing exercise. Imagine trying to only inhale. You can't. You must exhale to inhale again. Spending and giving are the exhale, receiving is the inhale. Many people are excellent givers but terrible receivers. They deflect compliments, refuse help, and undercharge for their services. This blocks the flow. You must learn to receive gracefully. Say thank you when life offers you abundance. Do not block the blessing. Chapter 14. The Law of Compound Growth. The law of compound growth states a simple truth. Small improvements repeated consistently over time create results that appear extraordinary. This law applies to money, skills, habits, relationships, and decision quality. Most people fail to benefit from compounding, not because they lack opportunity, but because they underestimate time and consistency. What compound growth really means. Compound growth is not fast growth, it is growth that builds on itself. When something compounds, each result becomes the foundation for the next result. In finance, this is obvious. In personal wealth building, it is often ignored. Your learning compounds, your discipline compounds, your reputation compounds, your network compounds, and eventually, so does your income. Why compounding feels slow in the beginning. In the early stages, progress looks disappointing. Your savings are small, your skills feel basic, your business traction is weak, your results seem invisible. This creates emotional pressure to quit, but this is exactly how compound systems behave. The early phase is always quiet. The real danger, linear thinking. Most people think in straight lines. If I put in more effort this month, I should see much more money next month. Compounding doesn't work like that. It works in curves. You invest time, learning, and discipline now, and the reward comes later, but much larger. Those who quit early never reach the curve. A real-world illustration of compounding. The long-term investing philosophy associated with Warren Buffett is a clear example of this law. His results were not created by frequent speculation, chasing fast returns, or reacting emotionally to markets. They were created by consistency, patience, disciplined decision-making, and allowing time to multiply results. His success is not about intelligence alone, it's about respecting compounding. The mental model behind compound growth. Compound growth requires a different identity. You stop asking, how fast can I win? You start asking, what can I build that will still be working for me in 5 years? This shift changes your behavior immediately. You choose stability over excitement, systems over shortcuts, learning over appearances. The 4 areas where compound growth creates wealth. 1. Skill compounding. When you improve one useful skill slightly every week, your competence increases, your confidence becomes grounded, your opportunities expand naturally. Skills stack. A person who combines communication, technology, and business understanding becomes far more valuable than someone who improves only one area. 2. Habit compounding. Daily habits look small, reading for 20 minutes, tracking expenses, improving one process at work, reviewing one financial concept. But habits automate progress. You stop relying on motivation, you build momentum. 3. Relationship compounding. Trust compounds, reputation compounds. When people repeatedly experience you as reliable, competent, and consistent, your access to opportunities quietly expands. Many of the best financial opportunities come through people, not platforms. 4. Capital compounding. Of course, money itself compounds, But money only compounds well when discipline already exists, emotional control already exists, and decision quality is stable. Financial compounding is built on personal compounding. Why most people never benefit from compounding? There are three main reasons. 1. They change direction too often. Every reset destroys momentum. 2. They seek emotional rewards instead of structural progress. Likes, praise, and quick wins replace deep work. 3. They quit during the invisible phase. They mistake slow progress for failure. Compounding only rewards those who can tolerate boredom and uncertainty. The invisible phase of wealth building. There is always a long period when nobody notices your effort, your results do not match your energy, and your confidence is tested. This is not a mistake. This is the accumulation phase. If you leave here, you leave just before leverage appears. The law of compound growth and effortless wealth. Effortless wealth is not created by intense effort. It is created by front-loaded effort and long-term structure. You work harder at the beginning to build systems, to build habits, to build competence, to build credibility. Later, those systems do the work for you. This is how effort becomes less visible, not absent. A powerful weekly compounding practice. Once every week, ask yourself, what did I improve this week that will still benefit me next year? What system did I strengthen? What habit did I reinforce? What relationship did I nurture intentionally? If your week creates future advantage, you are compounding. If it only creates short-term relief, you are not. A critical warning. Compounding works in both directions. Small financial mistakes, small ethical compromises, small discipline failures, when repeated, also compound. The law is neutral. It multiplies whatever you feed it. The deeper truth about compound growth. You do not suddenly become wealthy. You become someone whose past decisions quietly start paying you back. This is why patience is not passive, it is strategic. Chapter takeaway. The law of compound growth rewards consistency, not intensity. If you want wealth that lasts, stop trying to make big jumps. Build small advantages and protect them. When you respect time and structure, time eventually begins to work for you. Part 5. Passive Income and Wealth Strategies. Chapter 15. The Passive Income Mindset. Active income is linear. You trade time for money. If you stop working, the money stops. Passive income is exponential. You trade value for money independent of time. The secret to effortless wealth is to decouple your time from your earnings. You must build assets. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket without you being there. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. The 4 pillars of passive income: business, systems that sell products or services; real estate, property that generates rent; paper assets, stocks, bonds, funds that generate dividends or interest; digital assets, intellectual property, courses, code. Chapter 16. Real estate and property wealth. Real estate remains one of the most reliable paths to wealth. It offers the holy trinity of financial benefits: cash flow, appreciation, and tax advantages. Modern passive real estate. You don't have to be a landlord fixing toilets to benefit from real estate. REITs, companies that own income-producing real estate, you buy shares like a stock and collect dividends. Crowdfunding, platforms that allow you to invest small amounts, $1,000, into large commercial deals. House hacking, living in one unit of a multifamily property while renting out the others to cover your mortgage. Chapter 17. Investments and portfolio income. Investment income is not about luck. It is about building a system that puts your money to work instead of leaving it idle. Portfolio income is created when your capital is deliberately allocated across assets that can grow, pay, or compound over time. This chapter is not about shortcuts. It is about structure, discipline, and long-term thinking. What portfolio income really means. Portfolio income is money earned from assets you own, not from hours you sell. It usually comes from shares or funds, bonds or fixed income instruments, real estate investment structures, business ownership stakes, and other income-producing or appreciating assets. The goal is simple. Build a collection of assets that can grow and support you without your constant physical involvement. The core philosophy behind long-term investing. The foundation of modern value-oriented investing was shaped by Benjamin Graham, whose book, The Intelligent Investor, introduced a disciplined approach to buying assets based on real value rather than speculation. The key idea is not complexity. It is protection. You do not invest to be brilliant. You invest to avoid being careless. Why investing is a behavior problem, not a math problem. Most people believe investing fails because markets are risky, the economy is uncertain, or they lack enough capital. In reality, investing fails mainly because of emotional decisions, impatience, overconfidence, and inconsistency. This is why long-term success is often associated with investors such as Warren Buffett, who repeatedly emphasizes patience, quality, and rational behavior. Your returns are shaped less by market timing and more by your emotional discipline. The real purpose of a portfolio. A portfolio is not just a list of investments. It is a risk management system. Its purpose is to protect you from total loss, reduce dependence on one income source, and allow different assets to perform in different conditions. A well-constructed portfolio is designed to survive uncertainty, not predict it. The principle of diversification. Diversification means do not let one single outcome decide your entire financial future. You diversify across asset types, industries, geographic exposure, and sometimes currencies. Not because you expect everything to grow, but because you accept that some things will always underperform. Diversification is humility in financial form. The difference between investing and speculation. Speculation focuses on price movement, trends, short-term excitement, and timing. Investing focuses on ownership, cash flow potential, business or asset quality, and long-term growth. Speculators try to predict, investors prepare. The 4 pillars of a strong personal investment portfolio. 1. Capital preservation. Before you think about returns, think about survival. A good investor first asks, how do I avoid large permanent losses? If you protect your base, compounding can do its work. 2. Sustainable growth. You want assets that can grow over time because demand increases, productivity improves, or income is reinvested. Growth does not need to be fast, it needs to be durable. 3. Income generation. Some assets provide dividends, interest, or regular distributions. This income can support living costs or be reinvested to accelerate compounding. This is how portfolios begin to fund themselves. 4. Risk balance. Every investment carries risk. The goal is not to eliminate risk. The goal is to balance it across different sources so that no single failure destroys your progress. How portfolio income fits into effortless wealth. Portfolio income is one of the most powerful bridges between active income and financial independence. At first, your job or business funds your investments. Later, your investments begin to support your lifestyle and future goals. This is how effort slowly becomes optional. The most common mistakes new investors make: investing without a clear strategy, copying other people's trades without understanding, overreacting to short-term market movements, putting all their capital into one idea, ignoring costs, fees, and taxes. These mistakes are not technical, they are psychological. A healthy investing mindset. A healthy investing mindset accepts that some years will be disappointing, some decisions will be wrong, and progress will be uneven. But over time, consistency and discipline dominate individual outcomes. Your goal is not to win every year. Your goal is to stay invested long enough for compounding to work. A simple portfolio discipline you can apply immediately. Once per quarter, review how your assets are allocated, whether any single investment now dominates your portfolio, and whether your original reasons for investing still exist, and whether your risk level still matches your life situation. This is not active trading, it is responsible ownership. A critical warning: do not use investing to escape your financial foundation. If you have no emergency buffer, cannot manage basic cash flow, or are constantly in consumer debt, your first investment must be stability. Portfolio income grows best on top of financial order. The deeper truth about investment income. Investment income is not a shortcut to wealth, it is a multiplier. It multiplies good saving habits, disciplined decision-making, and long-term thinking. Without those, it multiplies mistakes. Chapter takeaway. Portfolio income is built through ownership, not activity. You do not need to predict the future. You need a diversified structure, emotional discipline, and enough patience to allow compounding to work. When your money is positioned intelligently, it becomes one of the quiet engines behind effortless wealth. Chapter 18. Digital and creative income streams. We live in the golden age of the creator. It has never been easier to turn knowledge into an asset. Online courses, package your expertise, create it once, sell it infinitely. Affiliate marketing, recommend products you love and earn a commission, no inventory, no customer service. Content creation, YouTube, blogs, and podcasts can generate ad revenue and sponsorships 24/7. A video you upload today can pay you for 10 years. The key is scalability. A digital product costs $0 to replicate. This is the definition of effortless wealth mechanics. Chapter 20. Designing your wealthy day. Wealth is not just what you earn, it is also how you structure your time, energy, and attention to create results that compound over days, weeks, and years. The most successful people do not leave their day to chance. They design it intentionally to align with their goals, habits, and priorities. Why daily design matters. Money flows from action, and action flows from structure. Without a plan, tasks drift endlessly, energy is wasted on distractions, and high-leverage work rarely gets done. Daily structure turns intention into consistent results. Even small daily improvements repeated produce massive compounding effects over time. The 3 pillars of a wealthy day. Focus. Prioritize the work that truly moves the needle. Energy management. Optimize your body and mind to perform at peak levels. Consistency. Reinforce habits that build long-term value. Neglect any one of these, and your day, no matter how busy, will fail to produce meaningful results. Step 1. Prioritize high-value work. Not all tasks are equal. Ask daily, which activity today moves me closer to income, skills, or influence? Which task multiplies results rather than just fills time? Focus on high-leverage activities first. Writing, planning, or analyzing revenue opportunities. Learning skills that improve earning potential. Building systems that free time in the future. Busy work can wait. High-value work cannot. Step 2. Time block for maximum focus. Divide your day into blocks dedicated to deep work, high-concentration tasks, meetings or collaboration, rest, recovery, and reflection. Your mind is like a muscle. It cannot sprint all day. Blocking time ensures energy aligns with priority. Step 3. Manage energy, not just time. Most people track hours, not energy. Energy management includes physical energy, sleep, nutrition, movement, mental energy, focused work without constant context switching, emotional energy, reducing unnecessary stress, cultivating positive mindset. High energy amplifies productivity far more than longer hours. Step 4. Build daily wealth habits. Small, repeated habits compound faster than one-time effort. Include reviewing financial metrics daily or weekly, reading or learning for skill growth, networking or meaningful conversations, reflecting on progress and adjusting plans. Consistency turns effort into results automatically over time. Step 5. Morning and evening rituals. Morning ritual. Set the tone. Review top priorities, affirm intentions, and visualize outcomes. Exercise or energizing activity. Evening ritual. Consolidate gains. Review accomplishments. Plan tomorrow's top priorities. Reflect on lessons learned. Rituals anchor focus, energy, and mindset daily. The 80-20 principle for your day. Most results come from a small percentage of tasks. Identify which 20% of your activities produce 80% of your financial, skill, or network results. Eliminate, delegate, or defer the rest. Focus multiplies output. Guarding against distractions. Wealthy days are protected days. Reduce notifications, limit social media, batch administrative tasks, schedule no meeting time for deep work. Every distraction steals compounding time and mental clarity. A sample wealthy day structure. Morning, peak energy, deep work, high-value creation. Late morning, strategic meetings, networking. Afternoon, learning, skill growth, system improvements. Late afternoon, administrative or lower leverage tasks. Evening, reflection, planning, and recovery. Adjust to your own energy rhythms, but always front-load the most important work. The compounding effect of daily design. Your daily choices compound like financial investments. A well-structured day repeated weekly equals habits. Habits repeated monthly equals skill and reputation growth. Skills and reputation equals opportunity and income growth. This is the time-based leverage behind effortless wealth. A practical exercise for today. List your top 3 high-leverage tasks for tomorrow. Time block 90 to 120 minutes for each task in your peak energy periods. Identify one habit you will reinforce tomorrow, financial, learning, or networking. End the day with a 10-minute reflection on what went well and what can improve. Even this simple framework dramatically increases your productivity and wealth-building capacity. Chapter takeaway. Wealth is created not just through money, but through how you structure your life. Designing your day intentionally ensures that energy is applied to high-impact activities, habits compound over time, and distractions do not quietly erode potential. When your day aligns with your long-term goals, effort begins to work for you, not against you. Part 6. The Millionaire Morning to Evening. Chapter 21. Managing your energy and focus. Money is infinite. Energy is finite. Wealthy people protect their energy fiercely. They say no to almost everything so they can say yes to the few things that matter. The decision fatigue cure. Barack Obama and Mark Zuckerberg wore the same clothes every day. Why? To save decision-making energy. Every decision you make burns glucose in the brain. If you waste your brain power deciding what to eat or wear, you have less power for million-dollar decisions. Automate the trivial to master the essential. Chapter 22. When fear blocks your wealth. Fear is invisible. It is subtle, yet it is one of the most powerful obstacles to building and sustaining wealth. Fear is not just anxiety about money. It is the internal signal that keeps you safe in the short term, but trapped in the long term. This chapter will show you how to identify, understand, and neutralize the fears that quietly sabotage your financial growth. The many faces of financial fear. Fear shows up in ways you might not even recognize. Fear of failure. What if I lose money or embarrass myself? Fear of success. What if people resent me or expectations rise? Fear of scarcity. There will never be enough for me. Fear of change. What if I leave the familiar path and fail? Each type of fear can quietly dictate your decisions and limit your results. Why fear feels so real. Fear is processed in the brain as a survival signal. Your mind cannot tell the difference between physical danger and imagined financial or social danger. This is why risky business decisions feel terrifying, asking for a raise feels uncomfortable, investing feels dangerous even when the math is solid. Fear is designed to protect you, but it often protects you from opportunity instead. The cost of letting fear control you. When fear dominates, it leads to procrastination, inaction, overcautious decisions, missed opportunities, stagnation in skill, network, and income growth. Most people fail to reach their potential not because they lack ability, but because fear subtly governs their choices. How fear manifests in behavior. Fear can disguise itself as rationalization. I'm not ready yet. Perfectionism. I must learn everything before I start. Analysis paralysis. I need more data. High action self-sabotage. I'll wait for a safer moment. Notice a pattern. Fear often pretends to be prudence or intelligence. The psychology behind fear and wealth. Behavioral science shows that humans are loss-averse. We feel losses more acutely than gains. This leads to decisions aimed at avoiding discomfort rather than creating opportunity. Even highly intelligent individuals underinvest, hesitate on career moves, or refuse to pursue high-value ventures because the emotional pain of potential failure outweighs the rational benefits. The key insight: fear is a signal, not a stop sign. Fear is information. It tells you what your mind perceives as risky. It does not determine reality. The question is not how to eliminate fear, it's how to act despite fear in a disciplined and calculated way. Strategies to neutralize fear. 1. Break it into smaller steps. Fear spikes when a goal seems massive. Example: fear. Starting a business is too risky. Solution: break it into manageable milestones. Research, plan, prototype, test. Action shrinks fear. 2. Gather evidence, not opinions. Fear is often fueled by stories, not facts. Study real cases. Run small experiments. Observe what actually happens when others take similar steps. Data reduces imagined risk. 3. Reframe failure. Every failure is feedback. Did your approach produce results? What can you adjust next? Redefining failure as learning transforms fear into opportunity. 4. Build support systems. Fear shrinks in isolation. Mentors, peers, or business partners can provide perspective, accountability, and encouragement. Social reinforcement reduces overreaction to risk. 5. Internal preparation, mindset, and ritual. Use tools like visualization of success, affirmations that reinforce capability, meditation, or controlled breathing to calm physiological fear responses. These prepare your nervous system to tolerate uncertainty. How fear blocks wealth silently. Fear doesn't always stop you outright. It often causes delayed investments, prevents asking for higher pay, discourages expansion of your business, prevents trying new income streams. The result, you plateau at safe but unremarkable financial levels. Examples of fear disguised as wisdom. I'll wait until the market stabilizes. Actually, procrastination. I need more experience before I invest. Actually, avoiding risk. I'll keep my job because it feels safe. Actually, stagnation. Fear dresses up in rational language to protect you from uncertainty, not loss. The paradox. Wealth requires fear, not absence of it. Fear is inevitable. High reward always carries risk. The goal is not fearlessness, but fear mastery. See it, understand it, acknowledge it, act anyway. Fear becomes a compass, not a chain. A practical exercise for overcoming fear. Identify one financial decision you've been avoiding due to fear. Break it into the smallest possible actionable step. List worst-case outcomes and your contingency plan. Take the first small action today, no matter how minor. Reflect on the result and iterate. Even incremental exposure reduces fear over time. Chapter Takeaway. Fear is a signal of growth, not a stop sign. The wealthiest people do not feel no fear. They act intentionally and persistently despite fear, allowing compounding effort and smart decisions to create results. If fear is blocking your wealth, it is not your enemy. It is your guide showing exactly where you must grow, act, and learn. Chapter 23. Dealing with setbacks and failure. Setbacks and failures are inevitable on the path to wealth. The difference between those who accumulate wealth effortlessly and those who stagnate is how they respond when things go wrong. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the process. Your reaction determines whether it becomes a stepping stone or a stumbling block. The hidden purpose of setbacks. Setbacks are signals. They show you where your assumptions were wrong, which systems or habits need improvement, and where your mindset may be limiting growth. Instead of punishment, think of failure as information for adjustment. Why most people fear failure. Fear of failure is powerful because it threatens identity. I'm not capable. Security. I'll lose money or stability. Reputation. Others will judge me. These fears are natural, but when unchecked, they freeze action. The difference between productive failure and destructive failure. Destructive failure dwells on mistakes, blames others, avoids risk, stops action. Productive failure identifies what went wrong, extracts lessons, adjusts strategy, takes informed action. Wealth is built on productive failure, not on avoiding failure entirely. The psychological mechanism behind bouncing back. Resilience is a skill, not an innate trait. Modern psychology shows that cognitive reframing, consciously reinterpreting setbacks as learning opportunities, strengthens both confidence, decision-making, and long-term perseverance. Resilient people see temporary setbacks as feedback, not fate. Step 1. Pause, analyze, and detach. When a setback occurs, pause your immediate emotional response. Detach yourself from ego-based judgment. Write down what happened objectively. This prevents fear or shame from clouding decisions. Step 2. Extract the lessons. Ask, what assumption failed? Which part of my plan was flawed? What skills or knowledge could have prevented this? What can I improve for next time? Failure is only wasted when no lessons are captured. Step 3. Adjust and re-enter. After extracting lessons, correct the error, test improvements in small steps, recommit to action. Setbacks are compounded into future advantage when followed by corrective action. Step 4. Protect confidence during failure. Confidence is fragile during setbacks. Strategies to protect it: track past wins and progress. Use affirmations rooted in capability, not outcome. Surround yourself with constructive feedback. Avoid destructive comparisons. Confidence is not naive optimism. It is trust in your ability to adapt and improve. The compounding effect of learning from failure. Every setback holds hidden leverage. Adjusted skills compound over time. Corrected strategies prevent repeated mistakes. Emotional resilience grows, reducing fear in future decisions. Viewed correctly, every failure is an investment in future success. Real-world examples. A consultant may plateau at $5,000 a month because their current skills only support that rate. Breaking through requires learning advanced negotiation or sales skills, automating client onboarding, targeting higher-value clients, partnering with complementary service providers. The same effort now yields exponentially higher results. Small steps that compound. Plateaus are overcome not by radical change alone, but by incremental strategic adjustments. 1% improvement in skill each week, small system tweaks in workflow, expanding one relationship per month. These small changes compound and eventually break the ceiling. A practical exercise. Identify one area where growth has plateaued: income, skill, network, or systems. List 3 factors that may be limiting growth. Choose one factor and implement a small change this week. Track results, refine, and repeat. Consistency plus innovation shatters plateaus faster than sporadic effort. Chapter takeaway. Plateaus are not permanent. They are signals pointing to where to innovate, upgrade, and stretch. Effort alone will not break them. You must combine strategic thinking, skill upgrades, system improvements, and environmental leverage. When approached intentionally, plateaus become launchpads for the next level of wealth. Chapter 25. Integrating Wealth and Purpose. True wealth is not just a number in your bank account. It is the alignment of financial abundance with personal meaning and purpose. Money without purpose can feel hollow. Purpose without money can feel powerless. Effortless wealth is achieved when you integrate the two, allowing your financial growth to support your life goals, values, and contributions. Why purpose matters in wealth. Purpose provides direction. It tells you which opportunities to pursue and which to ignore. It guides long-term decisions beyond immediate profit. It motivates consistent action even when results are slow. Without purpose, you are vulnerable to chasing trends or money without a strategy, burning out from meaningless work, and losing fulfillment despite financial success. The 3 levels of purpose in wealth. 1. Personal fulfillment. Money should support your life vision: health, comfort and security, family and relationships, experiences that enrich your life. Without meeting these needs first, wealth can feel like a hollow pursuit. 2. Contribution to others. Wealth is most powerful when it serves a broader purpose, creating products or services that improve lives, supporting causes or communities, mentoring and empowering others. Contribution multiplies both satisfaction and influence. 3. Legacy and impact. Long-term wealth allows you to shape lasting outcomes, building institutions or businesses that continue beyond you, educating or inspiring the next generation, leaving a positive mark on society. Purpose ensures that your wealth resonates beyond your personal life. Aligning financial goals with purpose. Ask yourself, why do I want this level of wealth? How will it improve my life and the lives of others? Am I willing to work consistently toward this goal without sacrificing my values? Answers create clarity and prevent wasted effort chasing money that doesn't fulfill you. The risk of misalignment. Without alignment, you may earn more but feel unfulfilled. You may take risks inconsistent with your values. You may attract opportunities that drain energy or reputation. Misalignment is a silent wealth killer. It erodes motivation and satisfaction over time. How purpose fuels disciplined wealth building. Purpose gives you motivation during slow periods. You keep going even when immediate results are minimal. Clarity on decisions. You can say yes to the right opportunities and no to distractions. Emotional resilience. You recover faster from setbacks because your why is strong. Wealth becomes easier when it serves a meaningful goal. Integrating purpose in practice. Define your why clearly. Write it down and revisit often. Align income streams. Focus on work that matches both your skills and your mission. Measure success beyond money. Include personal satisfaction, impact, and growth. Review regularly. Ensure your wealth-building strategies continue to support your purpose. This creates a feedback loop of motivation and growth. Examples of integration. An entrepreneur who builds a business improving education or healthcare sees both financial and personal fulfillment. An investor who supports sustainable projects aligns profit with environmental and social purpose. A professional who mentors others while earning income finds their expertise amplified and meaningful. Purpose multiplies the effect of wealth beyond dollars. The deeper truth. Money amplifies life. It does not define it. Effortless wealth occurs when your financial strategy serves a larger life design rather than existing as an end in itself. When purpose guides wealth, every decision becomes strategic, every action builds toward fulfillment, every achievement resonates with meaning. Chapter takeaway. Wealth without purpose is fragile. Purpose without wealth is limited. Integration is the key. Align your money with your life's meaning, your skills, and your contribution. When wealth and purpose are synchronized, you not only gain financial freedom, but also the satisfaction of a life fully realized. Chapter 26. Maintaining your wealth programming. Building wealth is half the journey. Maintaining it, both financially and mentally, is what separates temporary success from effortless, lasting abundance. Your mind, habits, and systems must be continuously nurtured to prevent old patterns, limiting beliefs, and distractions from eroding what you've created. Why maintenance matters. Many people reach a level of wealth only to see it stagnate or reverse because they stop practicing the habits that built it. Let fear, complacency, or ego interfere with decision-making. Ignore the evolving landscape of opportunities and risks. Wealth maintenance is not passive. It is active, intentional, and strategic. The 3 dimensions of wealth maintenance. 1. Mental programming. Your subconscious habits and beliefs drive long-term behavior. Affirmations, visualization, and conscious belief updates keep your mind aligned with abundance. Periodic review of limiting beliefs prevent old fears from creeping back. Reflection and journaling reinforce awareness of progress and challenges. Mental upkeep ensures that your actions remain consistent with your wealth goals. 2. Habit reinforcement. Consistency compounds results. Daily routines, financial tracking, learning, and networking habits must be preserved. Systems that automate good behavior, like automated savings or recurring investments, reduce reliance on willpower. Habits must evolve as your wealth grows. What worked at one stage may need adjustment at the next. Without habit reinforcement, growth plateaus and inefficiency creep in. 3. Systematic financial management. Wealth requires structure. Maintain clear records of assets, liabilities, and income streams. Periodically rebalance investments and business strategies. Protect wealth from unnecessary risk, taxes, or poor decisions. Financial systems act as guardrails, keeping wealth safe while your mind focuses on high-value activities. Common mental pitfalls in maintaining wealth. Complacency. I've arrived, no need to improve. Overconfidence. Taking bigger risks than your systems allow. Neglecting habits, skipping small daily actions that built wealth. Allowing limiting beliefs to resurface. I can't repeat my success in a new venture. Each is subtle but can erode progress if unaddressed. The accountability of maintenance. Accountability magnifies consistency. Mentors, peers, or coaches help you stay aligned with wealth habits. Tracking performance and reviewing goals regularly ensures adaptive learning. Feedback prevents the drift that often comes with financial success. protecting your wealth mindset. Continuous learning, financial landscapes change, your mindset and knowledge must adapt. Avoiding toxic influences, people or environments that breed fear, scarcity, or laziness can reverse progress. Daily mental alignment, affirmations, visualization, and gratitude reinforce abundance. Periodic reflection, regularly revisit goals, habits, and beliefs to recalibrate as needed. Mental vigilance is as important as financial vigilance. Systems that support maintenance. Automated savings and investments prevent emotional or impulsive decisions. Routine audits check assets, liabilities, and income streams quarterly. Process documentation ensure that scalable businesses continue to function efficiently. Emergency plans protect against unexpected setbacks that could disrupt growth. These systems allow wealth to sustain and compound even when your attention is elsewhere. Avoiding lifestyle inflation. As income grows, so can expenses. Wealth maintenance requires discipline. Track spending carefully, keep lifestyle growth moderate relative to income growth, prioritize investments and long-term value over temporary gratification. Controlled lifestyle inflation ensures that growth compounds rather than dissipates. A practical exercise for maintaining your wealth programming. Review your wealth habits and systems weekly. Identify one habit, belief, or system that is slipping. Implement a small corrective action. Reaffirm your financial goals and purpose through reflection or journaling. Even small, consistent adjustments protect progress and reinforce abundance programming. Chapter takeaway. Wealth is not a one-time achievement. It is a continuous practice. Maintaining wealth requires mindset vigilance, habit reinforcement, financial and system management. When your programming remains active and intentional, your wealth does not just survive, it thrives and compounds effortlessly. Chapter 27. Teaching Wealth to the Next Generation. Wealth is not only what you accumulate, it is what you pass on. The ultimate measure of financial mastery is not just personal abundance, but your ability to educate and empower the next generation to think, act, and grow like the wealthy. Teaching wealth ensures that your legacy extends far beyond money. It becomes a framework for lifelong abundance. Why teaching wealth matters. Many people accumulate money but fail to pass on knowledge. Without guidance, the next generation often squanders opportunities, repeats financial mistakes, fails to understand the principles of value, discipline, and compounding. True wealth is replicable knowledge and habits, not just dollars in an account. The 3 pillars of generational wealth education. Mindset and values. Teach children and young adults that money is a tool, not a goal. The importance of integrity, responsibility, and delayed gratification. How beliefs about wealth shape opportunities. Mindset is the foundation. It precedes strategy. Financial literacy. Basic financial skills are essential. Budgeting and tracking income, understanding saving, investing, and compounding, differentiating assets from liabilities, evaluating risk and reward. Practical knowledge gives them control over their future. Habits and systems. Habits create consistency. Encourage routines like saving a portion of allowance or earnings. Teach goal setting and progress tracking. Introduce decision-making frameworks for investment or entrepreneurship. Systems ensure that knowledge is applied consistently. Leading by example. Children and mentees observe more than they are taught. Demonstrate discipline in finances and work. Show respect for money but avoid obsession. Model giving and contribution. Your behavior communicates principles more effectively than lectures. Teaching strategies. Start early, simplify, and build gradually. Introduce concepts in age-appropriate ways. Use stories, games, and real-life examples. Use experiential learning. Allow them to earn, save, and invest small amounts. Let them experience consequences in a controlled environment. Encourage reflection. Ask questions. What would you do with $100? Discuss trade-offs, risks, and rewards. Share your process, not just the outcomes. This develops critical thinking alongside financial literacy. Overcoming common challenges. Resistance or disinterest. Make learning interactive and rewarding. Fear of mistakes. Allow small, safe experiments to teach responsibility. Generational gaps. Adjust communication to their level but maintain core principles. The goal is not control, it is empowerment. Integrating purpose and wealth in teaching. Teach that wealth is most powerful when it aligns with values and purpose. Earning is not only for personal comfort. Wealth is a tool for creating impact and opportunities. Giving and mentorship are integral to long-term fulfillment. This mindset prevents entitlement and encourages responsibility. The compounding effect of financial education. Just like money, knowledge compounds. Lessons learned early guide better decisions later. Skills, habits, and mindset multiply over time. The next generation becomes capable of building, preserving, and expanding wealth. Invest in education, and your influence grows far beyond personal achievement. A practical exercise. Identify one principle of wealth you want the next generation to understand. Create a simple, age-appropriate activity or example to illustrate it. Involve them in a real-world experiment, saving, investing, or giving. Reflect together on outcomes, lessons, and decisions. Small, repeated lessons create lasting financial competence and confidence. Chapter takeaway. Wealth is a legacy, not just a personal achievement. Teaching the next generation ensures that values and habits compound across lifetimes, knowledge and mindset empower others to create abundance, your influence and impact extend beyond money into freedom, purpose, and opportunity. When you educate others about wealth, your success becomes permanent, multiplying, and truly effortless. Conclusion. Your effortless wealth journey begins now. You have explored the principles, strategies, and mindset shifts that make wealth not just achievable, but sustainable and effortless over time. From understanding your subconscious programming to building scalable systems, from mastering investments to teaching wealth to others, the path to financial abundance is a combination of mindset, habits, and intelligent action. The essence of effortless wealth. Effortless wealth is not about luck or shortcuts. It is about alignment. Align your money, habits, skills, and purpose. Compounding. Leverage time, effort, and systems to multiply results. Discipline. Consistently apply strategies and guard against setbacks. Contribution. Use your resources to create value for yourself and others. When these elements work together, wealth flows naturally with less struggle and more freedom. Your mindset is the ultimate asset. Money alone cannot guarantee ease or abundance. Your beliefs, attitudes, and emotional responses dictate how you attract, create, and maintain wealth. A positive, disciplined, and growth-oriented mindset magnifies results. Fear, limiting beliefs, and misaligned priorities erode gains silently. Invest as much in your mind as you do in your money. Small actions repeated consistently. Effortless wealth grows from daily decisions, building skills, habits, and systems, managing time and energy intentionally, taking calculated, consistent action in high-leverage areas. Even small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results over years. Embrace the journey. The path will not always be smooth. You will encounter setbacks and plateaus. You will face fears and uncertainty. You will need to adjust and iterate constantly. These challenges are part of the learning curve that compounds growth. Embrace them as opportunities rather than obstacles. A call to action. Start today, not tomorrow, not when everything feels perfect. Take one deliberate step towards improving your mindset, skills, or financial systems. Reinforce habits that align with your purpose and long-term goals. Commit to learning, adapting, and growing consistently. Wealth is built not in a single leap, but in persistent, focused steps taken every day. Your effortless wealth is waiting for you.